Okay, so you're here to, get up to speed fast on some of the artists who are shaping the music landscape.
Right.
And today that artist is Ryan Hurd.
Ryan Maren.
And we've got a fantastic piece that really kind of charts his journey from, you know, Kalamazoo dreamer to
Yeah.
Nashville hitmaker and compelling performer in his own right.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
we're going to dig into how he really kind of cracked the songwriting code
Right?
for some major names,
Yeah.
and then explore kind of the personal territory of his album Midwest Rock and Roll,
Yeah.
and finally unpack the quiet power of his song Wish for the World.
Yeah. Really fascinating stuff.
So get ready to go deep.
What's so interesting to me right off the bat is this trajectory of an artist who really first made his mark kind of behind the scenes.
Right.
Ryan Hurd wasn't just some guy trying his luck as a performer out there.
Right.
He really first proved himself as a songwriter.
Yeah.
And one whose work clearly resonated with some of the biggest names in music.
Absolutely.
Right.
He wasn't just, dipping his toes in the water.
No.
He was penning some undeniable hits.
Yeah.
I mean, think about Blake Shelton's Lonely Tonight.
Huge hit.
The ultimate Windows Down anthem, Sunrise, Sunburn, Sunset by
Yeah.
Luke Bryan.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
And then Lady A's deeply emotional, What If I Never Get Over?
Oh man.
Talk about hitting you right in the feels.
Right in the feels, yeah.
And they also recorded his incredibly catchy You Look Good.
Mm-hmm.
And then that curveball collaboration with Diplo and Morgan Wallen
Yeah.
on Heartless.
How do you even
Categorize that range?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? It speaks to a really adaptable talent. He's not confined by genre expectations, clearly.
Right.
You hear that emotional depth in that Lady A ballad. But then he can pivot to something with a completely different vibe, like sunrise, sunburn, sunset.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder about his process.
Right.
Does he approach writing for different artists with like a specific sonic template in mind?
Right.
Or is it more about tapping into a universal emotional truth that can then be dressed up in various styles?
That's a great point because when we look at his own album, Midwest Rock and Roll,
Right.
it's described as this blend.
Yeah.
This, another blend altogether.
Yeah.
It's like those early songwriting experiences just gave him this, this palette to draw from.
Yeah, and if we consider how artists evolve, often it's those early experiences that really shape their own artistic voice.
Yeah.
And the article mentions things of memory, love, loss, and resilience on this album.
Yeah.
Pretty standard touchstones.
Right.
But the interesting part is how Midwest Rock and Roll seems to filter these through a really specific sonic blend.
Right.
It's not straight country, not straight pop.
No, it's this intriguing mix of country and pop, and even some indie rock flavors.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And the article specifically throws out comparisons to those early 2000s alt pop bands.
Yeah.
Like Death Cab for Cutie and Jack's Mannequin.
Yeah.
When talking about songs like Youth and All Night Long Days.
Oh, interesting.
But with that country foundation,
right.
It's a sound I'm almost struggling to picture.
Yeah.
Nostalgic and anthemic, but rooted in country storytelling.
What's fascinating here is that idea of taking that almost angsty, yearning energy of early 2000s alt pop,
Right,
and grounding it in the more narrative-driven tradition of country music.
Yeah.
It suggests a really interesting way of looking back.
Yeah.
It's not just pure nostalgia. It's almost like re-examining those youthful emotions through a more mature, perhaps even a more rural lens.
And then there's the track Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Which sounds like a total standout.
That one, yeah.
It's described as this charming conversational piece. How do you take something as potentially mundane as a chance encounter,
right,
and turn it into a captivating song?
Well, I think that speaks to the power of observation and the ability to find the extraordinary in the ordinary. I mean, the core of the story, meeting Paul McCartney at an after party, is already, a bit surreal for most of us.
Yeah.
But the article highlights about McCartney struggling with his bow tie.
Oh, wow.
That's the humanizing touch that makes it relatable.
Right.
It takes this icon
Yeah.
and puts him on a level playing field.
Right.
Just another person wrestling with a wardrobe malfunction.
Right. It's that little crack in the facade that makes the whole encounter feel genuine and accessible.
Right.
The article emphasizes that that hearing it firsthand from a friend quality.
Yeah.
And I can totally imagine that in the delivery of the song.
Yeah.
It probably feels less like a carefully crafted narrative and more like a casual, you won't believe who I ran into kind of story set to music.
That conversational delivery can be so engaging.
Yeah.
It bypasses that sense of, the artist being on a pedestal and invites the listener into their world. It's almost like you're sitting there with Ryan Hurd as he's recounting this slightly absurd, slightly starstruck moment.
Right.
And musically, you'd expect the arrangement to support that informality, perhaps with a more stripped-down acoustic feel.
Now, the article also shines a light on an earlier track.
Okay.
Wish for the World.
Wish for the World. Okay.
And it's clear this one really resonated with the author on a personal level.
Yeah.
It's interesting how different songs can serve
such
different purposes for listeners.
Absolutely. The comparison to Maren Morris's My Church is telling. It highlights how music can provide that sense of personal connection and meaning. Almost like a secular form of solace or inspiration.
Right.
It's not just about catchy tunes.
Yeah.
It's about finding something that speaks directly to your own experiences and hopes.
And Wish for the World is described as tapping into this quiet hope for something better, something kinder.
Oh, wow.
And that sentiment feels pretty universal right now.
Yeah.
The article even gives us a glimpse into some of the lyrical themes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, what are they?
Yeah, so if we look at those wishes.
Okay.
More coffee, apologies, forgiveness. Stargazing.
Yeah.
Pursuing dreams. Finding love.
Okay.
They're all incredibly down to earth.
Right.
It's not about solving world hunger in a single lyric.
No.
It's about those small personal desires for a bit more comfort, connection, and meaning in everyday life.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Wishes for more music when you're lonely.
Yeah.
For tough times to pass quickly. These are the things that resonate on a very human level.
Right.
And the article really emphasizes that tender and heartfelt nature, focusing on those core desires for love. Peace, connection, and meaning.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's used as a reflective cool-down song.
Interesting.
Really speaks to its calming and hopeful quality.
Yeah.
It's like a musical exhale.
That role as a cool-down song is significant.
Yeah.
It suggests a certain emotional weight and a sense of peace that the listener finds in it. It's a reminder that sometimes the most impactful songs are the ones that simply acknowledge and validate those fundamental human longings without trying to offer grand solutions.
The article also gives us a snapshot of seeing Ryan Hurd perform live.
Oh, cool.
At CMA Fest back in 2023.
CMA Fest?
Well, apparently he doesn't tour extensively, so this is a notable event.
Right.
What does seeing an artist live bring to our understanding of their work?
Live performance is where the recorded music really comes alive.
Yeah.
It's where you see the artist connect directly with their audience. And the songs can take on new dimensions through their delivery and the energy of the crowd. It can solidify the emotional connection or even reveal new nuances in the music.
Yeah, the author describes Hurd's stage presence as laid-back humble.
Oh, nice.
Which aligns with that down-to-earth quality we've seen in his songwriting themes. And the comparison to a campfire setting with him telling stories through song paints this really intimate and warm picture.
Yeah.
Even within the context of a big event.
Right.
Like CMA Fest.
That sense of intimacy at a large festival is a real testament to his ability to connect.
Yeah.
It suggests that even on a big stage, he's able to create a sense of shared experience.
Yeah.
Almost like he's just sharing these stories with a small group of friends.
Right.
The fact that it left a strong positive impression and increased anticipation for future tours speaks volumes about the power of that live connection.
So stepping back and looking at the whole picture painted by this article.
Yeah.
What's the overarching takeaway about Ryan Hurd as an artist?
Synthesizing all of this, it's clear that Ryan Hurd has successfully navigated a somewhat unconventional path.
Right.
First establishing himself as a sought-after songwriter with a remarkable ability to connect emotionally across genres, and then stepping into his own as a performer with a genuine and relatable voice.
Yeah.
He seems to excel at crafting songs that tap into both universal feelings and very personal experiences delivered with a sense of authenticity.
Right. He's not just a songwriter for hire.
No.
He's a storyteller in his own right with a distinct perspective.
Exactly.
The article really emphasizes his knack for creating those reflective moments in his music while still offering a sense of hope. And the fact that he's become a fixture on authors' playlist pretty much says it all about his lasting impact.
Ultimately, what resonates is this sense of genuine connection, both in the songs he writes for others.
Right. And in the more personal narratives he shares as an artist. That ability to bridge those two worlds and maintain an authentic voice throughout is what makes him a compelling figure in the current music landscape.
Absolutely. Well, we've taken a real deep dive into the world of Ryan Hurd.
We have.
Tracing his journey from in-demand songwriter to a performing artist who clearly connects with his audience on a profound level. We've explored the breadth of his songwriting for others, the sonic landscape of Midwest rock and roll, and the quiet power of Wish for the World.
This leaves us with a final thought for you.
Okay.
Consider the artist whose music forms the soundtrack to your own life.
Yeah.
What are the specific qualities in their work? The lyrical themes, the musical style, their persona that create that meaningful connection. Perhaps exploring Ryan Hurd's albums, paying particular attention to Midwest rock and roll and Wish for the World, and offer some new insights into what you seek in music.
And the artists who truly resonate with your own hopes and experiences.
Exactly. So until our next deep dive, keep listening, keep exploring, and keep finding the music that moves you.